Hi students, I'm Ratnali Sharma and welcome back to module 3 of story writing. Now since we have learnt all the points about how to develop a story and then the plot and the character, now let's use all that knowledge practically. Okay, let's quickly see what we can do. If we select now science fiction as our plot, then we will first develop the characters. Okay, among all those 4 plots, we have chosen science fiction. Now, once you have selected science fiction, do you remember we had 3 characters? Yeah, now we are going to develop those 3 characters. The first character was the narrator, that is you. Second, the UFO, and third, the alien. Here, mind you, UFO is not a character but an important element of the story, so we will treat it like a character. Now what you're going to do here is developing a character simply means shaping the character, giving it characteristics according to the plot. For example, the narrator. Okay, if the narrator of the story is going to be a character of science fiction, then first of all the character will have to be curious, he will have to be lover of science, he will have to be brave because he's going to face an alien. So you can go on with a number of qualities. I've put down a few for you over here. Okay, similarly, let's take the UFO. How is the UFO going to be in the story? Probably it's going to be huge, brightly lit, circular, have the ability to disappear, and so on. Let us now focus on the alien. Okay, first of all, the alien is green in color. It has the ability to change shape, intellectual, wearing lots of gadgets, and so on. You may add as many characteristics and details to the character, but this is going to now help us write the entire story. This is the material we will use for developing it. Okay, now using the information about the plot and the character, we can start writing our story now. Okay, but before that, remember, create only 2 characters or 3 probably, just like here we have the narrator, UFO, and alien. And the situation should be natural and interesting. If you remember well, we did this in How to Develop a Story. Now, let us write a story based on all this. First of all, the first most important thing that you will have to do is give an appropriate title. Okay, so let's give a title to our story, The Messengers of the Other World. Okay, now, do you remember you were given the first line of the story, that is, after saying my prayers I was about to sleep when, and we had decided to continue the line as I saw something shining brightly outside the window. Do you observe over here, in the format I had mentioned, you should never write anything before the given line, only complete it, do not change it, do not modify it. So we have done that here. Now let's continue with the story. At first I thought it was some comet, but I realized that the light and brightness was different. I got curious and so walked towards the balcony of my room. When I carefully observed, it was a circular object moving with great velocity towards the playground near our locality. My eyes kept following it, but suddenly it seemed to disappear. I thought it must have been some celestial object and decided to sleep. Okay, I walked back to my bed and sat on it. I felt really uneasy and then suddenly heard a voice. I was taken aback because I was alone in my room. Now see, all together over here, 2 aspects have been highlighted. First of all, the situation is natural in the sense the moment I look at some shining object, I don't conclude that it is a UFO because we don't see UFOs every day. Let it be like a real life situation where you initially might not guess that it is a UFO, so you feel it is a comet or something of that sort. Second, I have made it interesting by writing that I heard a voice, but there was no one in the room. Now the reader is curious, oh my God, how is this possible? What's going to happen next? Okay, now let's go to the next line. I again heard a voice. I am from planet Sirac, a planet in the neighboring galaxy Andromeda. Do not be baffled. This is a telepathic message. Please meet us on the playground near your locality as soon as possible. Now, if you observe, I have made use of direct speech over here. That is, I have put in a dialogue to make the impact on the reader. Why have I done that? I could have written this in indirect speech as well, saying that I heard a voice which said that and then continued. But here, when the alien's voice comes in, it creates interest in the reader. Now, again, let's keep the situation natural. We will not immediately listen to some weird message, telepathic message, and go to the place. You're going to be a bit baffled. That is why, let's have the next line. I had mixed feelings. Mixed feeling as in confusion. What confusion? So many questions were bothering me. Was it really a telepathic message? Or was I hallucinating? Is it safe to approach them? Would they harm me? I gathered myself and decided to be brave. I love science so much, and if this was not just a figment of my imagination, it could be the greatest discovery of the millennium. I hurried towards the playground. Now, if you observe over here, it is the narrator's description that we had created that has been used. So we have got our material from the basics that we had created. Next, let's see how the story develops. When I reached there, I saw a green creature wearing lots of gadgets. I could not believe my eyes because I was witnessing what no one had. They approached me, and again I could hear voices telepathically, but the alien did not speak. In this case, what we have actually put in here is the description of the alien. Okay, if you remember, green in color, full of gadgets, and so on. So all these points over here under the alien we have used in our story. The message was, I know you are not comfortable, so I will take the human form. Again, I've made use of a dialogue here. He suddenly disappeared and reappeared, this time in human form. But before I could say anything, someone tapped on my shoulder. I turned around and saw a police officer. He asked me, "Why are you loitering around alone at this hour?" I was about to tell him about the alien, but when I turned around, there was no one there. Was I hallucinating, or did I really meet the alien? Now, students, if you observe, I haven't given it a solid ending. I have ended the story formally, but at the same time, I haven't put in anything that gives a solid idea about, okay, this is this. Sometimes leaving the reader curious even at the end makes your story interesting, or else let it be an unexpected ending, because sometimes when you put an expected ending, the story sounds a bit boring. So, this is how we are going to develop our stories. Now, you may try your hand on the same story but with a different theme. Thank you so much.